Number 7, Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Health, what is the government's response to the court appeal decision in the so-called sleepovers case and to its impact on health and disabilities services?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr. Speaker, the decision of the Court of Appeal is extremely significant for public health services. It will have significant financial ramifications for some providers, the people who live in the residential services, and could have implications for the way support is provided for in the future. Therefore, the government will carefully consider the implications of the appeal court decision. As we work through this issue, though, Mr. Speaker, people with disabilities and their families can be assured that the provision of best quality care will remain a top priority for the government.
Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Health, what other reports has he seen related to the sleepovers decision?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr. Speaker, I have seen statements by the Leader of the Opposition, his past health spokesperson and the Opposition spokesperson for Labour that they would fund the shortfall for providers. I'm advised that the Ministry of Health has estimated the cost of this decision to be over $50 million a year for ongoing extra wage costs and up to $350 million in backdated pay. An estimated cost of over $500 million over 3 years that the Labour Party would pay out without even knowing the numbers and without careful analysis of the implications of the decision and without saying where the money would come from.
Well, they've got a money trap.
Darien, Fenton.
Thank you. Mr. Speaker, to the Minister of Health, is he prepared to meet with unions, disability providers and representatives of service users to find a durable way forward for funding the disability support sector, where quality services continue to be provided and workers are paid their entitlements to minimum wage according to the Court of Appeal decision? Will he meet? Will he meet?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr. Speaker, there have already been discussions with participants involved in this matter, and I am sure there will be ongoing discussions. But what I need to make absolutely clear is that this is a very significant financial cost for the public health service, and this government will take a responsible approach that makes sure that we can provide affordable care for people who are vulnerable. We will not go around promising spending without even knowing the price tag.
Nicky Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To the Minister of Health, what other implications is the Minister aware of that could flow from the court decision on the sleepovers case?
The Honourable Tony Ryall.
Mr. Speaker, I am aware that the decision of the sleepovers case could have significant implications for child, youth and family, and also for the Ministry of Education. For example, teachers and teacher aides who stay overnight at school camps potentially could be paid the minimum hourly wage while sleeping on the school camp. It has been estimated, shouldn't have made the promise, it has been estimated that the costs in education could be... You can shout as much as you like, but you made the promise and you don't know what the cost is. It's been estimated the costs in education could be around $57 million for past liability and $9 million per annum for ongoing wage increases. The Ministry of Health advises up to $350 million in back pay and $50 million in ongoing costs. That is why this government is seriously considering the implications of the judgment.
Point of order, Grant Robertson.
Order, Mr. Speaker. If the Minister was quoting from official advice in that answer, could I ask that he table it, please?
I'll ask the Minister, was it material prepared for his answer to today's question, or is it an official paper he was quoting? Material prepared for answering today's question is not required to be tabled. The Honourable Rodney Hyde, point of order. A point of order is being heard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Look, I got most of that answer, but to be fair to us sitting on this side, it was quite hard because the shouting was coming across, and I just ask you, for the sake that we could hear the answers, that you keep an eye on that.
I hear what the member's saying, and it would be my understanding that the information the Minister was giving in his answer was being seen to be somewhat provocative by some members of the House, and they did respond to that. I believe it was possible to hear what the Minister was saying, although And I believe the interjections weren't gratuitous. They were because the members were responding to what the Minister was saying. Question number 8, the Honourable Trevor Mallard.
Mr. Speaker, my question is to the